Have Ewan McGregor and Charlie Borman been lying about their Livewire long way up adventure? Catch you inside.
RevelatorAlf.
Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. Hope you're enjoying the channel and the series of videos. Please like, share, subscribe, leave those comments below. Check out the website RevelatorAlf.com. So you may have noticed in the press recently, in the last week or so, Ewan McGregor has come out, given out an interview about their latest adventure, long way up from Argentina to Los Angeles, covering reportedly about 10,000 miles, now depending on the route, which hasn't actually officially been released. And they've been doing it on electric bikes, produced by Harley, the Livewire. Now they've kind of come out, or Ewan McGregor has kind of hinted that they would just be holding on to a vehicle and let the vehicle tow them along, or they would just be asking people if they could charge their bikes in a domestic residence or anywhere. But the problem with that is that certainly in South America there aren't many places that have normal charging stations, and also you can imagine they'd have to ask a lot of people if they could use their electricity supply as well. So how realistic is this for them just to ride 100 or 150 miles, let's say, on their motorcycles and then pull over somewhere and say, can we use your electricity supply for 8 or so hours? Now, reportedly, the trip, which started in September 2019 and finished in December 2019, took to about 3 months to complete. They covered all this distance, nearly 10,000 miles, I believe it was, on 2 live wires, 2 electric live wires. They were also followed by their support crew in a couple of Rivian R1T electric pickups. I had to look down just to make sure I got that right as well. So you've basically got a bunch of bikes, and well, 2 bikes, 2 pickups, let's say, and they're all electric. So how are you going to charge all of those? Let's face it, if you pull up to somebody's domestic residence and you say, I've got 4 vehicles here, I want to charge them up at your property, they're going to say, I don't think so, sunshine. Maybe 1 or 2 might, but the others wouldn't. So you could account for occasional people saying that they'd be happy enough for you to use their electricity, but most people wouldn't. Not certainly for that duration. And whilst they kind of made light work of it, saying, well, they may have blown a few fuses and they were quite apologetic, I'm sure some of that did occur. But I think there's more to this story, isn't there? Now, reportedly, they were being followed by petrol and diesel vehicles, a support crew. As we know, there's always going to be a support crew, and the reports are that they always had proper generators and chargers for the bikes and the cars on board these support vehicles. So possibly that is the real story behind this adventure. It's not, well, certainly the South American and Central American adventure legs anyway, is that they weren't going to be able to properly charge the bikes. They'd have to take their own chargers with them, their own industrial generators with them. Whether we will see that in the eventual production when it actually airs on our television screens at some point this year is yet to be seen. I think they're going to try and make more of an effort to show the generosity of others and how they can they experience their adventure. Now, the bikes were modified somewhat. They had spoke wheels, engine guards, bash plates, and obviously they were ridden for the adventure, as it were. They did arrive in Los Angeles, where they had a quick fix at a Harley dealership, and then they went on to an end of trip party get together with a select number of riding friends as well. And this was all for TV, of course. So look, no doubt they completed it. No doubt that they did charge their vehicles en route, and no doubt that they've got footage of them being towed along, hanging on to the A or B pillars of vehicles and trying to be towed along by another vehicle. There's no doubt, I'm sure, and I don't dispute that. what we kind of have to realize is, well, actually, were these electric vehicles, the Livewires and the Rivian R1Ts, were they actually just recharged by the charity, the generosity of others, or really was the true charging taking place by their support crew with generators and chargers on board? Possibly the latter. Now, it is said that as soon as they cross the border into the United States, which is actually a relatively short distance to Los Angeles, if we consider the whole journey, then chargers were a lot more aplenty, and that they could find chargers to charge the bikes. And then the daily mileage or average mileage went up to something like 300 miles a day, when they were kind of struggling with 100, 150 miles a day in South America and Central America. Obviously, this is a very well-planned route, and a very well-planned exercise as well for the Charlie Borman and Ewan McGregor. Also for the cameraman and support crew, the same crew or very similar crew to their previous two adventures as well. But it'd be very interesting to see or hear more details as they come out, exactly how the bikes fared and what support they got from Harley Davidson, what support they got from external sources, let's say, what struggles they had along route, how much modification do they have to do to the bikes, and could they stand the challenge? Were they up to the challenge? But most notably, how long did it take them, and how did they properly charge the bikes? Because I don't think being stuck in somebody's house for 8 or 10 hours or 15 hours is going to be a great way to go. I could imagine it was a very frustrating trip, lots of hurdles to overcome, but that's part of an adventurous challenge. There are lots of hurdles to overcome, and they have to try and find solutions to them. So I, for one, am very much looking forward to the show when it comes out, when it airs. I'll be very interested to see how the Livewires coped with the rigors of the challenge, but also how realistic it is for them to say that they've just charged them people's houses, when we really want to know how it was achieved, not to some Hollywood version of it, if you please, Mrs. Borman and Ewan McGregor. But I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will reveal all. But obviously they've all been very tight-lipped since the arrival in Los Angeles in December. This is the first indication that we have that that they had some issues. They had to improvise, let's say, along the way. So let's just see what happens. But leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about the Livewire, about how realistic this journey was going to be. Was it ever really going to be that easy? I don't think it was. I don't think anybody could really say it was ever going to be easy. It was definitely going to be a challenge, a different kind of challenge, certainly a challenge. And they've obviously succeeded, but let's see how much they reveal about the true nature of the trip. Right, please like, share, subscribe. Leave those comments below and check out the website, RevelatorAlf.com, and I'll catch you again. Ta-da now.